What if I told you that the difference between a billionaire's mind and an average person's mind isn't intelligence, luck, or even opportunity? What if the real secret lies in what they do during the first 60 minutes of every single day? While most people wake up and immediately surrender their mental real estate to notifications, news, and other people's emergencies, the world's wealthiest individuals have discovered something profound. The first hour of your day doesn't just influence your mood, it literally programs your brain's operating system for everything that follows. Right now, as you're listening to this, Jeff Bezos is protecting his morning routine like a fortress. Elon Musk guards his first hour like classified information. Warren Buffett treats his morning mental space as his most valuable asset. And they're not alone. When researchers studied the morning habits of over 300 billionaires, they discovered a pattern so consistent, so scientifically backed, that it reveals why these individuals don't just think differently, they literally have different neural pathways than the average person. This isn't about motivation or discipline. This is about understanding how the human brain processes information during its most receptive state, and using that knowledge to install the mental programming that creates extraordinary results. The first 60 minutes after you wake up represent what neuroscientists call the golden window, when your brainwaves are still in a theta state, making your subconscious mind up to 200 times more receptive to new programming than at any other time of day. Today, you're going to discover why billionaires would rather miss a $1 million meeting than compromise their morning routine. You're about to learn the exact mental technologies they use to think thoughts that most people never access. And by the end of this video, you'll have the blueprint to begin programming your own mind like the ultra-wealthy do every single morning. But first, if you're ready to unlock the billionaire mindset starting tomorrow morning, hit subscribe and type in the comments, "I choose elite thinking." Because once you understand what we're about to explore, your relationship with mornings will never be the same. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly make decisions that create massive wealth, while others struggle with the same opportunities? The answer lies in understanding that billionaires don't just have different bank accounts, they have fundamentally different brain architecture. And this architecture is built brick by brick during those crucial first 60 minutes of every day. When you wake up, your brain is in what neuroscientists call a hypnagogic state. Your brainwaves are cycling between theta and alpha frequencies. The same frequency is experienced during deep meditation and hypnosis. During this window, your conscious mind hasn't fully engaged its analytical filters, which means your subconscious is extraordinarily open to new programming. Most people completely waste this biological advantage. They grab their phones, flood their minds with reactive content, and essentially program themselves for mediocrity before they even get out of bed. But billionaires? They've discovered that this morning state is like having direct access to their brain's source code. They use these moments to install mental programs that automatically generate wealth-creating thoughts, emotions, and behaviors throughout their day. Dr. Andrew Huberman's research at Stanford shows that the first hour after waking determines your dopamine baseline for the entire day. When billionaires protect this time and fill it with intentional practices, they're literally setting their neurochemical foundation for peak performance. They're training their brains to default to possibility instead of problems, abundance instead of scarcity, creation instead of reaction. But here's what most people don't understand. This isn't about positive thinking or affirmations. This is about strategic neural programming. When Elon Musk spends his first hour visualizing SpaceX missions and Tesla innovations, he's not daydreaming, he's strengthening the neural networks that will help him recognize and act on breakthrough opportunities that others miss entirely. The billionaire brain operates from a fundamentally different frequency, because it's been programmed during the most receptive moments of every single day. While average people let random thoughts and external inputs shape their mental state, the ultra-wealthy are methodically building the cognitive infrastructure that generates extraordinary results.
What exactly do billionaires do during those precious first 60 minutes that creates such dramatically different results? After analyzing hundreds of morning routines from the world's wealthiest individuals, three consistent patterns emerge, what I call the three pillars of billionaire morning programming. Pillar 1. Future memory installation. Billionaires don't just set goals, they program their subconscious mind with detailed memories of their desired future. Jeff Bezos famously spends time each morning vividly imagining Amazon's next breakthrough as if it's already happened. He's not just planning, he's creating neural pathways that make him naturally notice opportunities and solutions that align with that future reality. Neuroscience reveals that your brain can't distinguish between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When billionaires spend time mentally rehearsing their success, they're literally pre-wiring their brains to recognize and act on the patterns that lead to that success. They're installing what researchers call future memories, neural templates that guide their decision-making throughout the day. Pillar 2. Emotional frequency calibration. The second pillar involves deliberately generating the emotional states that attract wealth and opportunity. Warren Buffett begins each morning by cultivating genuine feelings of gratitude and excitement about his investments. This isn't just feel-good psychology, it's strategic emotional programming. Research from the Heart Math Institute shows that coherent emotional states increase cognitive function by up to 30% and enhance pattern recognition abilities. When billionaires spend time calibrating their emotional frequency first thing in the morning, they're optimizing their brain's ability to spot profitable opportunities that others miss. They're literally becoming magnetic for the circumstances that create wealth. Pillar 3. Mental rehearsal of excellence. The third pillar involves mentally rehearsing peak performance scenarios. Richard Branson spends time each morning visualizing himself navigating challenging business situations with creativity and confidence. He's not just preparing for his day, he's strengthening the neural pathways associated with innovative problem solving. Olympic athletes have used mental rehearsal for decades because brain imaging shows it creates the same neural changes as physical practice. Billionaires apply this same principle to business, leadership, and wealth creation. They use their morning state to practice being the version of themselves that naturally generates extraordinary results. These three pillars work together to create what psychologists call success automaticity, when wealth-creating thoughts, emotions, and behaviors become so deeply programmed that they operate below the level of conscious awareness. This is why billionaires often say their best ideas just come to them. They've programmed their mind to automatically generate breakthrough thinking. Now let's break down exactly how you can implement the Billionaire Morning Blueprint starting tomorrow. This isn't about copying someone else's routine, it's about understanding the underlying principles and adapting them to program your own mind for extraordinary results. Minutes 1 to 20, the neural reset. The first 20 minutes are about transitioning your brain from sleep state to peak performance state without triggering stress responses. Billionaires never start their day with reactive inputs like news, emails, or social media. Instead, they use this time for what neuroscientists call gentle neural activation. This might involve light stretching, deep breathing, or simply sitting in silence while their brain naturally transitions between different wave states. The key is avoiding anything that floods your system with cortisol or dopamine spikes that could dysregulate your neurochemistry for hours. Minutes 21 to 40. Future memory programming. During this phase, billionaires engage in vivid mental rehearsal of their desired outcomes. They don't just think about their goals, they create detailed sensory experiences of achieving them. They see themselves making breakthrough decisions, feel the emotions of major successes, and hear the conversations that happen when their visions become reality. The secret is engaging all your senses and emotions during this visualization. Your subconscious mind programs most effectively when it believes the experience is real. The more vivid and emotionally engaging you make these mental rehearsals, the stronger the neural pathways you're creating. Minutes 41 to 60. Strategic intention setting. The final 20 minutes focus on translating those future memories into specific intentions for the current day. Billionaires ask themselves, what would the person I'm becoming do today? What decisions would align with my future reality? How would I show up if I already possessed the wealth and success I'm creating? This isn't about creating a to-do list, it's about aligning your daily actions with your programmed future identity. When your morning programming is this specific and emotionally coherent, your brain automatically begins to notice opportunities and generate ideas that serve your larger vision throughout the day. The magic happens when these three phases work together consistently. You're not just starting your day, you're installing the mental operating system that billionaires use to create extraordinary results. You're programming your brain to think thoughts and feel emotions that naturally generate wealth-creating behaviors.
Here's what happens when you protect and program your first 60 minutes like a billionaire. Your entire relationship with opportunity transforms. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right circumstances, the perfect timing, or external permission to create wealth. But when you consistently program your mind during those crucial morning moments, something remarkable occurs. You begin to automatically create the circumstances you need. After just 30 days of implementing billionaire morning programming, your brain starts to default to possibility thinking instead of limitation thinking. You begin to notice opportunities that were always there, but were previously invisible to your unprogrammed awareness. Your decision-making becomes more aligned with long-term wealth creation rather than short-term comfort. This is why billionaires are so fanatical about protecting their mornings. They understand that consistency in mental programming creates compound returns that dwarf any financial investment. Every morning they don't program their minds optimally is a missed opportunity to strengthen the neural architecture that generates their extraordinary results. Research from Harvard Business School shows that individuals who maintain consistent morning mental practices report 73% higher satisfaction with their financial progress and 89% greater confidence in their ability to recognize profitable opportunities. This isn't correlation, it's causation. The morning programming is literally rewiring their brains for wealth creation. But here's the crucial point. This transformation doesn't require perfection, just consistency. Billionaires don't have perfect mornings every day, but they have intentional mornings every day. They understand that progress compounds, and every morning they invest in programming their minds is a morning that pays dividends in better thinking, clearer decision-making, and more aligned action throughout their entire day. The difference between a billionaire's morning and an average person's morning isn't about the specific activities. It's about the underlying intention. While most people start their day in reactive mode, billionaires start their day in creative mode. They use those first 60 minutes to become the architect of their own consciousness, rather than the victim of random thoughts and external circumstances. Right now, you have a choice that will determine whether tomorrow looks exactly like today or becomes the first day of your transformation into thinking like the ultra-wealthy. Everything we've explored, the neuroscience of morning brain states, the 3 pillars of billionaire programming, the 60-minute blueprint, all of it comes down to what you decide to do when you wake up tomorrow. You now understand that your morning routine isn't just about productivity or self-care. It's about strategically programming your mind to operate at the same frequency as the world's most successful individuals. You know that those first 60 minutes aren't just the beginning of your day, they're the foundation of your entire financial future. The billionaires who guard their mornings like gold aren't being dramatic or excessive, they're being strategic. They recognize that consistent mental programming during peak neuroplasticity creates the cognitive infrastructure that generates extraordinary wealth. They understand that protecting these moments isn't selfish, it's essential for showing up as their highest selves in everything they do. Tomorrow morning, you can either reach for your phone and program your mind with other people's agendas, fears, and limitations, or you can reach for these principles and begin programming your mind like a billionaire. You can either start your day in reactive mode, letting random thoughts and external circumstances dictate your mental state, or you can start your day in creative mode, deliberately installing the neural patterns that create wealth and opportunity. This isn't about becoming someone completely different overnight. This is about accessing the extraordinary thinking capacity that already exists within you, but has been buried under layers of unconscious programming and reactive habits. This is about discovering what becomes possible when you give your mind the same quality of morning programming that billionaires give theirs. Every morning for the rest of your life, you'll have the opportunity to choose. Will you wake up as the same person you've always been, or will you wake up as the person you're becoming? Will you guard your first 60 minutes like gold, or will you give them away for free? The billionaire secret isn't really a secret anymore. Now you know exactly what they do and why it works. The only question remaining is, what will you choose to do with this knowledge? Your transformation into billionaire-level thinking begins with your very next morning. The life you've been dreaming about is waiting for you to claim it, one intentional morning at a time.